Happy New Year, or is it? Welcome to the Maverick Approach. I'm your host, Maverick. This year has already been crazy. It's only the 2nd of January as this recording is happening. And it feels like a year already. Like, what is happening, you guys? It's just like we have so much to go over. I did a video, and if you've seen it, you may have not seen it. I'll play that. Many attacks have been happening. Okay, many attacks, and um, it's very reminiscent of last year, but on steroids at this point. So, if you remember last year, we had the aliens in Miami. That was light work. So this year, attacks. We got shootings and bombings, plane crashes. We got uh, all types of stuff happening. So let's get it started. Make sure you smash the like button, share the live if you're on X, share the live if you're on YouTube. Make sure you follow Maverick Approach on IG and all the other socials. What up, you guys? I see you guys coming on in the chat. Come on through. Yeah, share the live, you guys. Share the live. So let's get into it. Gianna, what's up? Aubrey, what's up? What is going on? What is happening? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So here we are. Here we are. All right. So here we are, you guys. This is crazy. Like, I still can't believe like this happened. So, as you know, there have been attacks. Okay. So we have the Las Vegas attack with the Cybertruck pulls up to Trump Tower and it explodes with the driver unaliving himself. Okay. So that's one thing. Then we have the New Orleans attack. Okay. And I'm going to break all this down. You know, I did a video and I'll give you the longer version. But this Ford F-150 Lightning truck is the truck that the assailant used in this New Orleans attack. Now, here's the thing about New Orleans, whichever you want to call it. Sometimes I say New Orleans, sometimes I say New Orleans, but Bourbon Street. You guys know that Bourbon Street has hydraulic barricades. Okay. Bourbon Street doesn't have like, a wide open gap that you just, waltz into. Okay. So the hydraulics, they were down. So why were they down? The barricades are supposed to be up, right? Why are they down? So here's an article. I want to bring this to your attention. So real quick, this article states, why are the barricades down? That's the first question. Because think about it. That shouldn't have happened. You know why they were down? They were saying that they were getting replaced. Why did the city wait so long to replace the malfunctioning barricades? So this has been an ongoing thing. And they said that the latest update on these barricades is because of the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl that's happening in New Orleans, they're saying that they were getting replaced because, there's going to be an influx of people and whatnot. So that's why. How convenient, right? Interesting. Now, if you remember, going back to Bourbon Street, let's pull this back up. Now, this dude is driving this truck, gets through the barricades, starts running over people, starts firing in the crowd. Police do a return fire, unaliving him. That flag right there is an ISIS flag that they covered up. So we have a Ford F-150. It's a Ford. Okay, so we have this attack and this attack. Now, everybody knows that these attacks aren't isolated incidences. They're all related. So let's talk about the truck itself. It's an F-150 Ford. Okay. So an F-150 Ford, if you remember that Ford got hacked, their X account got hacked. So let's pull that up real quick. This is what happened. X account calls for Israel a terrorist state in alleged attack, in or alleged hack. So they get hacked. Their X account says Israel is a terrorist state and yada yada, free, free Palestine and all this other stuff. So that happens, and then a Ford truck with an ISIS sign plows through a crowd. Interesting. Now, who would be able to do this? Who would be able to actually, um, hack? So we have Shazadim Dabar. He is an IT specialist. This guy worked for the military, right? So these are possibly sleeper cells, okay? Because this guy is military and the guy who unalived himself in the Cybertruck is military. So he's an IT specialist. So wouldn't he be the perfect candidate to hack that X account, talking about free Palestine and everything else, then drive that Ford into the crowd? That's one thing, right? So let's go back to the Super Bowl. What does the Super Bowl have to do with any of this, right? So I have a question to ask everybody. When was the Super Bowl last year? Or where it was last year? Oh, it was in Vegas last year on February 11th. Now, where's the Super Bowl this year, which I just mentioned? Oh, it's New Orleans this year. So you mean the two places that got attacked on the same day have a Super Bowl last year and this year? And then the dates that the Super Bowl is on, last year, the Super Bowl was on February 11th. This year, it's February 9th. The dates are 9/11. Coincidence? Let's keep going. So lightning strikes the Empire State Building, strikes the US Capitol, and then strikes the Washington Monument. Stay with me. Those three places got striked with lightning on the 1st of January. Okay? Now watch this. That's the same name of this vehicle that this man used lightning to strike people in the crowd. What are the chances? Coincidence? Come on, y'all. Let's keep going. So, I mean, and then you have Elon reposting this on December 30th, saying this Cybertruck looks like the future. And it says this Cybertruck is on fire. Come on. Like, the symbolism is crazy, y'all. Symbolism is crazy. You know how they get down. You know how this happens. And you guys want to know what's really funny? Now, there is video that I want to pull up where the Cybertruck is exploding. So let's pull that up, shall we? Let's pull this up. So here we go. So here's a Cybertruck exploding.
Copy.
Now pause. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop, stop, stop. What is in front of that Cybertruck, you guys? Oh, it's a F-150 Ford. So you mean to tell me there's an F-150 Ford in the same place? So we have two F-150 Fords a part of this attack? What are the chances? I love playing the game, what are the chances? Let's keep playing the game, what are the chances here? Okay? So that happens in, obviously, sending a message to Donald Trump and Elon. Now, they said that this guy, we're going to go over the assailants themselves in a minute, but they're sending a message, obviously. But what are the chances that another Ford F-150 is there at the scene of the crime too? Interesting, right? So let's keep playing the game. What are the chances? Now, what are the chances that both suspects in yesterday's attack at the Trump Tower in Las Vegas and Bourbon Street in New Orleans trained at Fort Bragg, the same military installation that Ryan Routh visited more than 100 times before he attempted to unalive Trump? What are the chances? Okay. What are the chances that these three men right here are all connected through Fort Bragg? Now, Fort Bragg is a military base. Now it is called Fort Liberty. It's based in North Carolina. Okay. It's right here. What are the chances that they all have trained here and visited numerous times? So the Vegas assailant, the New Orleans assailant, and the guy who tried to take out Trump are all connected to Fort Bragg. Now, what are the chances that they have and mind you, both assailants obviously have military background. He's special forces, the guy who did Vegas, and the other guy is IT. Seems like the perfect team, right? So you got one guy who's in special forces, another guy who does IT. This guy tried to take out Trump. Now, what are the chances that the U.S. Army Special Warfare School of Psychological Operations Department at Fort Bragg has a 2-hour course introducing psyops in an unconventional warfare environment? And here's the CIA document to back it up. What are the chances? You're telling me that Fort Bragg has a declassified CIA document stating that not only they teach psyops, but they obviously have been doing it a long time as well, because this form is from 1968, which is pretty telling because 9/11 started in 1968. Now, for those who you don't know, 9/11 was a 33-year cycle. 1968 to 2001 is what? 33. The highest level of masonry. Now, 1968 is a very prominent year because that's the same year that they created the 911 code. That's also the same year that George Bush Jr. graduated from Yale. That same year, the New York Jets won the Super Bowl. Super Bowl again. That same year. The Space Odyssey movie called Space Odyssey 2001 came out that year. That same year, the World Trade Center started construction. What are the chances? I love that game. What are the chances? I always play that game. So that's where this document is from, and this is a introduction to psyops. So they've been running psyops for a long time. So these guys trained at Fort Bragg and probably learned those psyops. This is why America's the king of psyops, right? So pretty interesting stuff right there, I would say. A little bit, you know, I would definitely say so. What's up? Sugar honey iced tea. What's going on? I see you guys in the chat. It had to be a Tesla. Why not a Chevy Equinox? Another very interesting fact that really nobody's talking about. There is footage which I want to pull up of Jabbar's Airbnb. So, not too many people talking about this. I want to find the footage. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. It's in my video, but we'll go ahead and just pull this up right here. So the guy who did New Orleans, he had an Airbnb. What are the chances that Airbnb catches fire all of a sudden, right? Just goes up in flames. That's pretty interesting. But what nobody's really talking about is how. How did this Airbnb catch flames? Now, I definitely want to find the footage, but this is going to blow your mind, you guys. You guys won't believe this. Maybe I saved it in my bookmarks. Let's see. Let's see if we saved it. So here's one account by the person who actually saw the fire.
Home at 8:30 this morning. So can you walk me through what went down as soon as you opened your eyes?
Oh,
Well, I didn't really get to open my. I came home at 5 from work, about 5:15, and there were fire trucks everywhere because the house at 1329 had caught fire. And the fireman said, "Oh, it's okay. It's just a fire. Go inside." And then about 2.5, 3 hours later, the police are banging on everybody's door, telling them, "No, you have to evacuate. Get out now. They're investigating something across the street." And they didn't want to say what at first, but then they're like, "Yeah, it's they're looking for bomb making materials and explosives and stuff."
And I know you mentioned there was a fire earlier this morning too. Can you break down how did officials tell you that could be related to what happened in the French Quarter?
They didn't say that. They think this is definitely related. They think the gentleman rented this house as an Airbnb for the weekend or however long. And something I don't know how the fire started, but they put it out by the time I got home at 5:15. It was still smoking and everything, but all the flames were out.
Home at
Okay, so what they didn't tell you, and I'll have to find a video, and maybe I'll put it in my Telegram, and then we'll get to this in a minute too, talking about the chief of police. So the fire was started by a Tesla. There's video footage of that Airbnb showing a Tesla in the garage catching fire, and that's how the fire starts. So you have not one, but two Teslas involved now. The Cybertruck and now the Airbnb. Something's up. Something's up. I don't know. That's very, very weird. What do you guys think about Elon? Chat, let me know. What do you guys really think about Elon? I'd like to know your thoughts. What are we feeling about Elon now? There's been a few sequences of events that happened since, Trump has won, he's president elect. What are we feeling about Elon at this point? So somebody said Jabbar is 42 years old. The most famous Jabbar is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, retired at 42. Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. That's a great catch. Dog is a prop for Elon Musk Dogecoin. Everybody's saying not sure. I don't know enough about him. I don't trust Elon or his witch mother. Man. Elon says alien. Here's a fun fact about Elon, you guys. Here's a fun fact. Did you guys know that Elon was prophesized in a book called Project Mars, written by Nazi scientist Werner von Braun, that was brought over here from Nazi Germany, that actually helped build NASA? He wrote this book, Werner von Braun, this guy right here. Werner von Braun, that's him. So he wrote this book, and funny enough, this guy wrote about a man named Elon who was going to lead the human race to Mars in the first space exploration to Mars. What are the chances? We can keep playing this game. We can, and here it is right here, the Elon. Interest in this novel increased in 2021 when people connected Elon, the Martian leader, to SpaceX founder Elon Musk, suggesting that von Braun had predicted Musk's space exploration ventures. The Martian government was directed by 10 men, and the leader of whom was elected by the universal suffrage of 5 years and entitled Elon. 2 houses of parliament enacted a law to be administered by the Elon and his cabinet. Now, isn't it funny that Elon is all of a sudden part of the government? They're talking about Elon and his cabinet, and he's a part of the cabinet now. What are the chances? So, very, very interesting stuff here. And Warner von Braun wrote this between 1948 and between 1949. So, there's no way that, I mean, think about it. Elon was born, let's see when Elon was born. So that's 1948, 1949. Elon was born in 1971, years later. So that's like, it's not like he was named after, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have, like, and that's the thing. Even if you name somebody after that book, you can't just become the world's richest man by chance and then start doing space exploration to Mars. Like, you could have easily just worked at McDonald's. A cat named Elon just, I work at KFC. Like, how do you become Elon and still become that? Think about it, right? Interesting stuff. What are the chances? So, this whole thing, you guys, is wild times because it's just, what is it leading up to? What do all these connections mean? What does all this stuff really have to do with the grand scheme of things? Why is this happening? Well, I may have some answers. Now, if you guys think about it, there is a new regime coming, which, Donald Trump is a part of and whatnot. We have two regimes fighting and jockeying over the same position. That's what's happening. We have Elon and Trump and his whole cabinet. They want to get rid of the IRS. They want to get rid of CIA. They want to get rid of a lot of departments, taxes. They want to destroy and rebuild. And then you have the other system who's trying to uphold the system. So it's a lot of psyops, a lot of infighting. This is kind of where we're at. And we're kind of all in the middle. Then we had the fogs happening. Then we had the drones, then the drones, then the fog, right? So it's a lot of stuff happening. Even with overseas. So I think these are sleeper cells happening, right? So in Montenegro, we had a guy unalive 12 people and then unalive himself the same day. Yo, we're on day 2 of 2025 and all this stuff has happened in 24 hours. So this happens as well. So are we looking at sleeper cells being activated maybe around the world, in America? So it says, shock and dismay prevail in Montenegro on Thursday after a gunman fatally shot 12 people, including 2 children. That's terrible. In a Western town before unaliving himself. Okay. Yeah, this happened. He says at least 4 others were wounded in the shooting rampage. I don't know how to pronounce that city on Wednesday, which was yesterday. That followed a bar brawl. This is the second incident in the past 3 years, so they don't have a lot of activity. Now, was it an altercation? I mean, is it that serious to spray up 12 people over an altercation? Are we really? And then he unalives himself over a bar fight? That don't sound right. That's pretty interesting. I don't know how that correlates. That doesn't make sense. Is this a real live chat? Please respond to someone in your chat. Yeah, this is a live chat, you guys. I can see all your comments. I just go down the research and I I get wrapped up in reading the article, so I want to give context. Yes, it's a real live. I see you. So, um, I was waiting for you to say Elon was one of the gray ones that Trump knows about. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Is this real live or just fantasy? Uh, what do you mean just fantasy? Are you saying this is real life? Are you mean this is real life? But anyways, you guys, yeah. So not only that, but then we had another scenario in New York, in Queens. This is all the same day, you guys. This is all the same day. All the same day. This person, another mass shooting, 10 teens wounded outside NYC event space. How is all this the same day? Okay. Police are searching for 4 suspects after they opened fire into a crowd of 15 people standing outside an event space in Jamaica, Queens. 10 teens were hurt in the shooting, which happened on 11:15 on New Year's Day outside the Amazura Concert Hall. All the same day. Okay. This is all the same day. Doesn't stop there. There was a plane crash in Fullerton. This is in Fullerton, California. So now this is we're setting a trend here. So we got plane crashes, mass shootings. There was one in downtown LA. There was another one in Texas as well. There was at a mall. I believe that was today as well. So all this stuff in a span of 2 days, you guys. We're barely getting to the end of the second day, and all this stuff is happening. I feel like one or two things are happening. We are under attack, or we are under attack. There's no other way. Like, we don't know from who. Sleeper cells, and if you don't know where sleeper cells are, you guys, sleeper cells are basically it's like the movie Winter Soldier. I always go back to the movies, right? Because we all know, if you don't know, the DoD, the Department of Defense, has a movie film fund. Winter Soldier. Have you ever seen this movie, the Marvel movie? So this guy was under MK Ultra. So this is where the movies get it from. This is why they have the Department of Defense has a movie fund, because they work closely with Hollywood. So this is a sleeper cell. So when they speak something or they activate a certain word or sound, they turn into a soldier and carry out orders. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Shootings happen daily. Small plane crash. There is no trend. Wow, really? So people just dying is not a big deal? See, we're getting so desensitized now, you guys. That's a crazy comment. These are people's lives. Like, how is it not a big deal? Because, yeah, shootings happening every day, but we're talking about mass shootings back to back. We've had mass shootings in America, of course. It's a problem. But back to back, all on the same day? Like, we can't ignore the trends, you guys. We got to start looking at the signs. Like, 3, 4, 5 times, that's a trend. One isolated incident, even a second time, okay. But a third, fourth, fifth time, back to back, and clearly these people are connected in some way when we're talking about the New Orleans guy and the Vegas guy. Come on. So all this stuff could be happening, but it's just a trend. Also, you're speaking oddly. Yeah, okay. So CIA is Hollywood. Yeah, they work closely with Hollywood. Look at the DoD. Yeah, people got to start waking up. You were beat up and you weren't addressed that. Bro, you're trolling. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't have time for trolls when we're like talking like real business here. Like, I'm just gonna ignore you. Or you just get muted. Or you just get blocked. I don't care. Actually, you'll get blocked. Yeah, we don't do clown shit. Okay? I'm a nice guy until I'm not. We don't do clown shit. We're talking real business here. Come on. You can choose to ignore it. Cool. I don't care. I feel like you know what happens. I think what happens. I don't get trolled too much, but I do get trolled. You know what happens though? There's bots, and this has been proven, and this is a rollout too. There's been bots or operatives because they know who I am. They specifically try to get me off my square, and then like they'll troll and say stuff. I feel like they're like I'll bring up receipts and I'll bring up stuff like that's very accurate, and they'll be like, "No, you're delusional, this, and that." I'm like, "Are you a real person?" And you know how I know it's true? Watch this. Yeah, I'll get to the pipe bombs too, Capri. The pipe bombs are crazy. So watch this. So Meta opens floodgates on AI generated accounts on Facebook and Instagram. So they're going to roll out AI users, you guys. Do you guys know about the dead internet theory? So if you don't know about the dead internet theory, basically there's a theory that, you know, half of the internet or even like more of half the internet is actually bots, AI, it's all AI generated users, and most people are just voyeurs. They just kind of watch, they'll like stuff, but they won't really comment or they'll just share it or but this proves the dead internet theory. They've already had this. So that bot that was in my um that was in my chat, like these bots are real now. Like literally. So now you're going to be interacting with AI generated accounts and you won't even know. So they'll have profile pictures, they'll have um I mean they'll be commenting, they can even share content. They can even share content, you guys. Big Dog said, I feel like there's a different level to sleeper cells because I've been seeing so much stuff. I'm gonna send you on IG. Yeah, send me some stuff for sure. Thank you, Sadida, for sure. Thank you, Z. I see you. I can't pronounce your last. I don't know what that is. Cognizance. Appreciate it. I think the DoD has to purge people to keep them in line with the Deagle report. Interesting. So yeah, Capri, going back to your 150. Um, Here you go. So watch this. And this is really gonna blow your mind. Watch this. Nobody caught this either. So the FBI just yesterday found 150 homemade bombs in Virginia. Coincidence? I mean, we're talking about bombs, we're talking about cyber trucks exploding, right? Now, why does this number look familiar? 150. Hmm. Let's think for a minute. Let's think. Oh, wasn't that the same car that they used? The F-150? Coincidence? So you mean to tell me they found 150 pipe bombs along with an Ford F-150 that the guy used at New Orleans, and it was at the scene of the crime in front of Trump Tower as well? In front of the Cybertruck when it exploded? Interesting. It's all in the numbers, you guys. So we have 9/11, which they brought back. We have the 150. What are the chances? What are the chances, right? So somebody said we need Shaq and Kobe back. Yeah, I've been telling Big Homie. I know he's been busy, and yeah, we got to get it going for sure. Definitely. It's building up to the inauguration. I think it's called 30 Days of Hell. Look it up. Interesting. I think that they're trying to do whatever they can, you guys, to keep Trump out of office. I mean, that's just what's funny about this too, though. The guy's name, Matt. Here he is. So this is the guy right here, right? Who did Las Vegas. He pulled up, unalived himself, and then blew up. But here's the thing: these cars are self-driving. He could have easily already been out of here. The car could have pulled up and then exploded, right? But here's the thing. How is it that this guy was a Trump supporter and then do this? Like, what type of message are you sending getting in the Cybertruck and then blowing yourself up in front of Trump Tower if you're a Trump supporter? That's weird. Another question. They have his passport intact, right? So you mean to tell me that they have his passport intact right here, but the guns that he had melted? Look, that's his gun melted. So this gun melts and barely survives, but then this is very cleanly intact. Little burn mark right here. Come on, y'all. Really? So the passport survives, but the guns don't? That makes no sense. Exactly. That makes no sense. Says Sean Ryan with yes, I saw Sarah Adams. She was a former CIA. I saw that. This correlates with what you were saying. Enemies clicking up and smarter this time. Yeah. So I saw where she predicted. Actually, she actually was saying that there was going to be an attack around this time, and she was pretty on point. It's pretty on point. And he was completely burned. So how do we know it was really him? I said that. Yo, I said that. I was just having a conversation earlier today. I'm like, yo, how did this guy do all this and everything else? And He takes a Desert Eagle, unalives himself. But here's the thing. He's charred up now. How do we even know this is really him? We just went over an AI generated users on Facebook and Instagram. How do we know this is him? How do we know this is him? His body's burnt up. All the evidence is gone. We just happen to have the passport to verify, right? Like, oh, his passport was here. That's got to be him. How do we even know that? Come on. We don't know anything. Just telling whatever they're telling us. Ain't no way. Like, somebody said, oh yeah, LL Sub said, like the passports they found on 9/11. Exactly. There's no way. And for those who don't know the specifics about 9/11, jet fuel cannot burn through steel. That's already been a fact and a proven fact. No way. It's a demolition. Oh, okay. Allegedly. I don't want to get banned. Allegedly. We'll say allegedly. For entertainment purposes only. But how do you find passports at the 9/11 scene? How is that? So we're gonna find passports at 9/11 too? When everything burnt up? See, you guys gotta understand, this is the same playbook they've been using for years. This is the same playbook. Because I mean, come on. Innocent bystander before the blast had no reaction to a gunshot. Yeah. It's like some Christopher Dorner shit. Yeah, I remember Christopher Dorner. Man, that guy, he was a legend. He was a legend. But yeah, you guys, if you guys haven't seen my video, I'll just run it back for you guys just for context. A lot of people have seen this video. I'm actually going to be on the #1 radio station in Virginia tomorrow. It's going to be an early one. So if you're on the East Coast at 6 a.m., he saw my video and he wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to be on the radio tomorrow. So make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be really early though. But I'll run this back for you guys just so you can get a refresher on everything.
Boy, when I tell you 2025 is going to be year of the psyops, believe me. So there was a horrific attack on Bourbon Street in New Orleans on New Year's where this car plowed into a crowd of people, got out and start firing at police. The suspect is Shamsuddin Shapoor, which is a 42-year-old real estate agent from Beaumont, Texas. Now, in this marketing video, he states that he's born and raised in Texas, lives in Houston, but there's a few things odd right off the bat that I found.
Born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist.
Why does this video feel like a setup? Because he's giving vital information about his background instead of talking about real estate. Mind you, this is the only video he's posted on his YouTube back in 2020, then completely fell off. Then his real estate license actually expires in 2023 and he doesn't renew it. So this screams sleeper cell to me. Going back to the truck, so that flag that's covered up is an ISIS flag, and allegedly that's who he has allegiance to. Now here where it starts to get really weird. Ford's X account got hacked a few days ago saying all eyes on Gaza, Israel is a terrorist state, free Palestine, and Ford even made a statement saying their account was compromised and they did not make those posts. Then you have an attack with a Ford F-150 Lightning with an ISIS flag. What are the chances? And who could have hacked that Ford X account? Oh, I don't know, maybe a military IT specialist? But it doesn't stop there. This actual car was at the scene of another attack. Can anybody tell me why that same truck was in front of this Cybertruck that blew up in front of Trump Towers in Las Vegas? You can't make this shit up. Now this Cybertruck pulled up, parked, and then exploded with the driver inside. Now, obviously, they are sending a message to Elon and Trump. And who would willingly pull up just to unalive themselves like this? Sleeper cell. And I find this pretty odd that Elon reposts this on his X account saying this Cybertruck looks like the future. This was a response to this post saying this Cybertruck is on fire and this literally looks like the Cybertruck is exploding. And it doesn't stop there. So you guys, on New Year's, the Empire State Building, the Washington Monument, and the US Capitol get struck by lightning. You mean the same name this truck, lightning, struck people in New Orleans. Got it. Also, they said that this truck was sitting on a dealership lot on December 14th, then got bought, then got put on Turo, which then he rented.
So real quick, I forgot about that part. So those two cars that they had, not only they rented both on the app Turo, but that vehicle that he had, the F-150, was actually sitting on a lot December 14th. So there's a paper trail. So we got to figure out, like, why are they not disclosing that? Who bought it and put it on Turo? That's the question. Who bought this car, then put it on Turo? That seems like somebody's helping him. Or they have some type of group of people, something. Because where's the information on that? Does that make sense? And it was sitting on the lot, and then all of a sudden, gets put on Turo. That's very convenient, right? That doesn't make sense. So we need that information too. They haven't disclosed that. But I found something else that's pretty interesting as well. Now, we'll keep finishing the video, just a refresher.
Not to mention that Cybertruck that was in front of Trump Tower was also rented on Turo. Then the Airbnb he rents actually catches on fire and dozens of people had to evacuate. How convenient. Wait, hold up. This is happening in the same city where the Super Bowl is happening this year, February 9th. Didn't the Super Bowl happen last year in Las Vegas on February 11th? So you have two attacks on the same day in both of these cities. And look at the dates, 9/11. Oh, they love their symbolism. Now, since then, the governor declared a state of emergency in New Orleans and even postponed the Sugar Bowl. Now, the question is, are we really under attack? Because the FBI just found 150 homemade bombs in a Virginia home, which is one of the largest seizures they've ever had. Either way, I would keep my head on a swivel, especially if you're in a major city, because it seems like somebody's sending a message. I'll keep you guys updated on any developments, but let me know what you think about this down below. Boy,
So here's another interesting thing, you guys. So remember how I said Turo? Can anybody tell me why that Chelsea Clinton is actually on the board? She is the board of directors for Turo? Huh. It's funny how this all connects, right? So Chelsea Clinton is one of the directors, which is Hillary Clinton's daughter, is on the board of directors of Turo, which is the app that these guys use for both cars. It's getting deep. Very interesting. Thank you, Gianna. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Somebody said there was a fire today. Man's rental caught on fire at 5 a.m. At 5 in the morning. It happened at 3:15. Interesting. Maverick and Big Homie and Jesse on fire would make some great pay-per-view content. Can't wait for some more drone videos. Actually, yeah, Big Homie just texted me right now. I gotta call him. He just texted me, you guys. You guys spoke him up. Definitely be careful. I'm seeing a lot of people are I mean, here's the thing, you guys. We got a lot of events like Super Bowl. We got of course, March Madness. We got there's a lot of events always happening. So I would definitely keep my head on a swivel. Make sure you guys are safe because I don't think that I don't personally. I'm not going in any crowds or any big areas right now. So I would kind of play it safe right now because we don't know what else is happening. There's a lot of activity right now. A lot of activity. So um it's pretty interesting that Chelsea Clinton is on the board of Turo. The plot thickens, right? So interesting. Interesting stuff here. So we've been on for an hour, you guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, but definitely keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Maverick Approach. If you're on the East Coast and you're up early, go ahead and tune in to Virginia Radio. It's on my Instagram. If you guys want to tune in to that, I'll be on air talking about all this stuff and giving my insights. But yeah, make sure you guys stay safe out there. Make sure you guys are avoiding as much as big crowds as possible. We don't know how far this goes, and I feel like unfortunately there may be some more stuff happening because this stuff just doesn't go away. It's only been 2 days, you guys. So, but I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys question everything and follow me on X, Mav Approach. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok, Maverick Approach, all handles. And yeah, make sure you guys question everything for sure. Keep your head on the swivel because nothing is what it seems. Peace.